Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and I want to talk a little bit about a cover issue. Now, when this Rorschach series was announced, I covered it, and, I really wasn't interested in Tom King writing it. But, he did write Vision, he did write some really great Batman stories, so he will get the benefit of the doubt for me. It just took me being angry initially that it was, not a better writer. Oh boy. Maybe I was right with my initial opinion, because Tom King is coming out today to speak out on behalf of all of the best virtue signalers. And I want to remind you something when we're talking about Tom King. Tom King was in the CIA. Tom King has saw real war. Tom King knows what a real hate group is, what hate groups can really do to people, how, they can cripple countries like, when Afghanistan, when it comes to ISIS and such. That's a hate group, right? So actually, before we even go over Tom King's little spiel here, let's talk about terms. Let's define what a hate group is, because as long as we have clear definitions and we're all on the same page, we can kind of decide by the end of the video whether or not this was warranted. So, what is a hate group? Hate groups are organizations which spread lies intended to incite hatred towards a certain group of people, advocate violence against certain groups based on sexual orientation, race, color, religion, etc., claim that their identity, racial or religious, is superior to that of others, do not value the human rights of other people. Now, the main thing of a hate group is at least to me, now of course this is different for everyone because there is quite a few little qualifiers here, but I would say the main thing to me would be advocating violence against a certain group, and we've seen that a lot in the media. I'm not going to mention who I think is a hate group currently going around right now, but let's go to the tweet now, because that's very important to this whole thing. So today, DC put out an alternate cover of Rorschach. Number one, this black label we've talked about before on this channel, by Jay Lee, who has done covers for Comicsgate, a hate group. And this is the whole reason why I did that. DC does not consult creators on alternate covers. I reached out to them to express my deep disappointment. Far as I'm concerned, this is the only cover to Rorschach number one. Well, I do remember a situation when it came to Heroes in Crisis, and you did the same thing, Tom. You did not like the cover because the Twitterati didn't like it, right? So you reached out to DC and you covered up Ivy's cleavage, and you put her butt down a little bit, and you made sure that cover was changed. Now, what he's saying is, I reached out, I told him I was disappointed, but I didn't do jack shit about it because I don't really care. He cared before when it came to Poison Ivy and the Heroes in Crisis cover. Now this is an empty blanket virtue signal. He is literally just trying to appease the people on Twitter, because people like SJWs Spider-Man and Renfamous will come out and say, oh my God, they worked with Jay Lee. Now, Jay Lee's been around for a really long time. Jay Lee has done covers upon covers. He did a lot of work that I really loved when it came to Before Watchmen and the Ozzy stuff. He's done X-Men. He's done so much work. He's done one cover. Let me repeat that. One cover for Ethan Van Sciver. Now, let's talk about a hate group again, right? So, now, Comicsgate, they can be stupid. They can be irritating. But to call them a hate group is ridiculous. So, let's go through this definition. Do they spread lies to incite hatred? Maybe a little bit. The comic book industry has been dying for a really long time, but it's not doing good. So do they spread lies? No. They extend the truth. They kind of, make it bigger than it needs to be. Now, do they advocate violence? Ever? Never once. Never once. And yet, like I said, I was in Comicsgate, or at least considered myself Comicsgate, for nearly a year. It's been a while, but a year is long enough to see people in a true light. I've never, ever, ever, and I will repeat this till the day I die, seen them advocate for violence over comics books. Now, I have seen quite a bit of squabbles in fighting when it came to like War Campaign and, the others fighting. Well, they're gone now as far as I see. I don't keep up on the drama as much, but I do enjoy a lot of the channels. So no, that's not true. So do they claim that their identity is superior? I mean, no. Their identity as far as this, racial or religious, is superior? Absolutely not. Do they claim their books are better? Sometimes, and sometimes they're not wrong. Sometimes they're way off the mark, but everybody's going to be that way. Everybody's going to think that their creation is really good. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having pride in what you work. So, last one, do they do not value the human rights of other people? I've never seen that. Never seen that be an issue. Never once. So, they can be annoying, right? Everyone can be annoying. The majority of them, there's nothing wrong with. The majority of them I get along with. The majority of them I like. You're always going to have radicals. And speaking of radicals, when it comes to this, let's talk about how this isn't good enough, right? You knew it wasn't going to be good enough because nothing's ever good enough for these mentally ill people. So let's take a look at who this is. You reached out to express disappointment, but what else did you do? Are you going to walk away from the project? Are you going to walk away from DC? While I appreciate you spoke up, it's not enough because it will never be. It will never, ever be. You have bent the knee so many times, Tom King. Like, I've lost count. This person literally wants you to lose your job because of a cover that he did for Ethan Van Shriver that he paid for. Can you tell me how ridiculous that is? It has gotten to the point in our society it's gotten to, if you don't agree with me, you are evil. If you don't have the exact same set of principles and politics I have, you are the enemy. And this is a big problem. And people like Tom King are only making it worse by bending the knee to the people that are truly inherently evil. Would a good person, would a real person, would a Comicsgate person ask you to quit DC for doing a cover with somebody they didn't like? Like, really? Can you honestly say that they would? No. Because the people that you're appeasing are truly evil people. The people that spend all their time on Twitter, most of the time, are very much toxic. But yet you call people toxic that you don't like. You call people a hate group because they disagree with you politically. It is absolutely ridiculous. I understand you're probably trying to, appease them, but you didn't have to say anything. Nobody knew the cover. Nobody realized it besides maybe SJW Spider-Man. But yet you did it anyway. Whose fault's that? You brought attention to it. It's called the Streisand effect. You need to realize this is nobody's fault but your own. And we have people like Heather Antos, mad respect, right? You care about her respect more than you care about, the hundreds of people that would buy it, but see this as really weak and unmanly? Like, come on. You've got Eric July on here. What are you basing these hate claims on? No answer, of course not. Because you have no claims. They were mean to you. Did they hurt your feelings, Tom? Oh, Did they hurt your feelings? Like, come on. That's what it is. That's what it is. They didn't like your run when it came to your effeminate Batman, and now your butt hurt. Guess what? Go to YouTube and go to a channel that is not Comicsgate. There's a lot of comic book channels out there, and I'm not talking Comicstorian because obviously that's a bought and paid for site. I'm talking about a real reviewer. Somebody that's got 100, 200 sub. Go to Joe's Geek Show and look at the different things when it comes to Batman. Look at your run. Comicsgate wasn't the only people saying that. Everybody was saying that. They were done with you because of what you did to Batman. It's your own fault. Yeah, here we go again. Like, I was blatantly sick at how you acted today. Like, beyond sick. You call people a hate group because they hurt your fifis. That's the fucking truth. And it's pathetic. It is honestly pathetic. It's as bad as calling people Nazi that don't agree with you or fascists. You are part of the problem. And if you don't see that, then that's a really big issue. That's a really big issue. And DC really, and I'm a DC fangirl, really needs to get these people on a leash. Because, at this point, you are just throwing money away. You might as well burn it. You really might as well, because I've stopped buying Tom King, and this has cemented me not buying Cat and Bat. I don't know. It's pathetic. Anyways, let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. If I'm wrong, let me know, and guess what? I won't call you a hate group. I'll just ask why. I'll defend my position, and you defend yours, and that's called civility. Anyways, let me know, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskart, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.